All these puppies getting...
The entire neighborhood was on its knees, whispering desperate prayers for a miracle that seemed impossible. Massive but small Great Danes were about to change reality forever. Nobody expected that a single act of kindness for a depressed dog would lead to a street filled with people crying tears of joy as a mother dog made a choice that would rewrite the destiny of an entire community. Marcus and Sarah Patterson lived in a house that felt far too quiet, despite the presence of their magnificent blue Great Dane, Luna. Luna wasn't just a pet, she was a 130-pound masterpiece of grace and loyalty. But lately, her spark had vanished. Her massive, muscular frame, once a blur of blue-tinted fur running through the yard, now lay collapsed on the living room floor like a fallen monument. She wouldn't eat, she wouldn't play, and her deep, soulful eyes were drowning in an ocean of inexplicable sorrow. The vet's diagnosis shattered the Pattersons' hearts. Luna was suffering from a profound, bone-deep depression, and the only cure was the presence of her own kind. Desperate to save their girl, Marcus and Sarah posted an ad online, offering a loving home to any Great Dane in need. For 7 agonizing days, the silence in their home felt like a physical weight, pressing down on Luna's ribs until you could see her heart beating weakly against her paper-thin skin. Just as hope was beginning to bleed out, the phone rang. It was a local shelter, their voice trembling with urgency. They had a blue Great Dane, they said, but there was a catch, a bonus gift that came with her. When the Pattersons arrived, they didn't just find one dog, they found a shattered family. There stood Bella, a majestic but exhausted mother, and clinging to her side was her young son, Bluey. Bella's ribs jutted out like prison bars, and her skin was scarred from a life of neglect, but her belly was swollen, heavy with a secret life growing inside. Before we continue, if heartwarming rescue stories touch your soul, please subscribe. Your support means everything. Hit that subscribe button right now. You won't regret it. Now, back to what happened next. The shelter workers dropped the bombshell. Bella was heavily pregnant. The Pattersons stood paralyzed, their minds racing as they looked at the sheer size of these gentle giants. They came for one dog to save Luna, and they were leaving with an entire lineage. Without a second thought, driven by a primal instinct to protect, Marcus opened the van door. As Bella and Bluey stepped into their new home, the air in the house seemed to shift. Luna's head lifted for the first time in weeks. Time itself seemed to freeze as the 3 blue titans locked eyes, a silent language of healing passing between them that no human could ever understand. The news of the Great Dane Fortress spread through the neighborhood like a wildfire in a dry forest. People peered over fences, whispering about the 3 massive blue ghosts roaming the Pattersons' yard. But the atmosphere changed from curiosity to awe when the neighbors realized the truth about Bella's condition. The sight of this enormous pregnant mother walking slowly down the street, flanked by Luna and Bluey like a royal guard, moved the hardest hearts to tears. Suddenly, the Pattersons' doorbell didn't stop ringing, but it wasn't complaints they heard. It was a revolution of kindness. Neighbors arrived with the highest quality mountain-grade proteins, handmade orthopedic beds large enough for kings, and toys that looked like they belonged to giants. The community was no longer just watching. They were invested in the survival of Bella's unborn pups. But a dark cloud of anxiety hung over Marcus and Sarah. How could they possibly find homes for a dozen giant dogs? How could they ensure these precious souls wouldn't end up back in the cold metal cages of a shelter? The stress was a vice gripping their chests. Until the morning the neighbors gathered on their front porch. One by one, they confessed that seeing the Pattersons' devotion had rewired their souls. They didn't just want a dog, they wanted a piece of this miracle. They promised that if Bella's pups were born healthy, they would adopt them, ensuring the entire family would stay on the same street, growing up together in a literal heaven for Great Danes. The neighborhood became a sanctuary. When Bella walked, people stopped their cars, stepping out to offer gentle caresses and words of encouragement. The bond was no longer just between dogs and owners. It was a pact made by an entire zip code to protect a mother who had once been forgotten. The night of the birth arrived with a tension so thick you could feel it in your bones. The Pattersons' living room became a cathedral of life. Outside, in the moonlight, neighbors stood in small circles, some holding hands, others whispering prayers to the stars, begging for the mother and her pups to pull through. Inside, Bella's breath came in ragged, heavy gasps, her massive paws tensing against the blankets. Then it happened. One by one, small, silver-blue miracles slid into the world. Every time a new pup let out its first sharp, tiny cry, a cheer went up from the porch outside that rattled the windows. When the dust settled, a beautiful, healthy litter lay nursing against Bella's flank. Weeks later, the day of the great choosing arrived. The Pattersons sat on the floor, surrounded by a sea of blue fur and wagging tails. The neighbors crowded into the room, their faces etched with anticipation. Marcus and Sarah made a decree. They wouldn't choose the owners, the puppies would. They opened the gates, and in a scene of pure, unfiltered chaos and joy, the puppies began to wander. As each tiny giant wobbled toward a specific neighbor, climbing into their laps or licking their faces, the room exploded into tears and laughter. It was as if the universe was placing each soul exactly where it belonged. Today, if you walk down that street, you'll see a sight that defies logic, a parade of blue Great Danes, brothers and sisters, mothers and sons, all living doors apart. Luna's depression is a ghost of the past. She is the matriarch of a kingdom. The Pattersons started with one sad dog and ended up creating a village of love. If this story touched your heart and you're still not subscribed, please don't wait any longer. Hit that subscribe button. What would you do in this situation? Tell me in the comments below. If this story moved you, please hit that like button. It helps more people find these incredible stories.